Let's look at this example. For the following four expressions, 1, 2, 3, 4 expressions, please determine if they are positive or negative. So we want to determine the sign of these four expressions. Then we want to compare our answers with the answers from a calculator. From a calculator here. We know we can find out all those values from a TI-83 calculator. So without using the calculator, we can find out if they are positive or negative just by the definition. 250 degrees is between 180 degrees and 270 degrees. 250 is greater than 180 and is less than 270. Then 250 degrees will be in the third quadrant. Okay, so you see right here, in this definition, okay, the straight angle is 180 degrees. And then if you have an angle goes from here to the terminal side is on the negative direction of y-axis, that will be 270 degrees. Okay, so basically this angle alpha, if this one alpha is 250 degrees, that will be greater than 180 and less than 270 degrees. And in this case, we know x coordinate, which is what? Which is negative. You see, this is 0, and from here to the left, this part, OM, x coordinate is negative. Since x coordinate is defined as cosine alpha, so cosine 250 is in quadrant 3, then we know cosine 250 degrees will be negative. Okay, so basically then we know right here is that x coordinate of a point in the third quadrant is negative. And then based on the definition we have seen a moment ago, it then tells us that cosine 250 degrees will be negative. That's question 1. Question 2 is sine negative pi over 4. Pi over 4 is 45 degrees. Negative pi over 4 is negative 45 degrees, which is in the fourth quadrant. Okay, if an angle is in the fourth quadrant, right here, the terminal side is on the fourth quadrant, then the y-coordinate will be negative. Y-coordinate of this point P will be negative. Then sine negative 45 with this negative y, then of course will be negative. Okay, so sine negative pi over 4, that's sine negative 45 degrees in the third quadrant. Then y-coordinate of P is negative. Okay, so that's why our answer is sine negative pi over 4 is negative without calculating. Now, here is question 3. Question 3 is negative 672 degrees. Negative 672 degrees is 48 degrees minus 2 times 360 degrees. That means 48 degrees is the coterminal angle of negative 672 degrees. Okay, so 48 degrees, the terminal side, this part, is on quadrant 1. Then, of course, the angle negative 672 degrees will be in the first quadrant. Okay, so that's how we got those two are equal. Those two. These two are equal. Okay, it's because the coterminal sides are the same. And then since the 48 degrees is in the first quadrant, then you know y over x, y is positive, x is positive. So the ratio will be greater than 0. So tangent negative 672 degrees should be a positive value. Now, the last one. The last one is tangent 3 pi, where 3 pi equals pi plus 2 pi. Okay, but we know this basically tells us pi is the coterminal angle of 3 pi. So that's how we have a tangent 3 pi equals tangent pi. Equals tangent pi. Pi is a straight angle 180 degrees. So at 180 degrees, what is y over x? We may go back to see the definition. Straight angle is 180 degrees. Basically, we want to consider point C in this case. Okay, and in this case, x is negative 1, y is 0, y coordinate is 0. So y over x is 0 or negative 1 is 0. Okay, so then tangent 180 degrees or tangent pi or tangent 3 pi will be 0 because y coordinate 0 divided by x coordinate, which is negative 1, gives us 0. Then we may go back to C is tangent pi is neither positive nor negative, which is actually 0. Okay, so this is what we get. Now, we got to see the calculator. Okay, how to do that with the calculator? We may do maybe question 3. We may do this one. The rest of them are similar. You turn on your calculator and then you do check the, you do tanh, and input negative sign, which is this one, not minus sign, negative, this key, then 672 degrees. How to import degrees? That will be second apps, that angle. You see key 1 is degree, key 2 is minute. So then you click on 1, you then hit the enter, close bracket, and then enter. Is 1.1106 and more. So it's basically what? Positive. Okay, basically positive. All right. Now, how about sine negative pi over 4? You may use your calculator to work on that. Sine, before you do that, you want to check mode. You see this is in radian is highlighted, so the mode will be in radian. Okay, yeah. So if you want your mode is in degree mode, so you want to highlight this one. How to highlight this one? This is flashing. Hit the enter, so it will be highlighted in degree mode. Okay, so you go back to the radian and click enter. It will be in degree radian mode. Okay, you then do second, quit. So sine, again, negative is not subtraction, is this key. If you click on subtraction, you will get error. And then second pi, right here, yellow bottom, you have to click on second first. And then divided by 4, and then close bracket. You hit the enter. You have a negative number, negative 0.707. That's negative here. You may try those two yourself. I'll see you next time.